Hey, coin hunters! What if I told you there might be a penny sitting in your pocket right now that's worth over $1.1 million? Yes, you heard me right, a single 1986 Lincoln penny with no mint mark is worth a fortune. Imagine dropping $1 million penny into a vending machine for a candy bar. Ouch! In this video, we're diving deep into the fascinating story behind this rare coin. We'll talk about what makes it so valuable, how to tell if you've got one, and why even the simplest everyday objects can hold surprising value. Stick around, because by the end of this video, you might be running to check your piggy bank. Oh, and before we start, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Your future millionaire self will thank you. Okay, let's rewind to 1986. Ronald Reagan was president, Top Gun was the coolest movie, and somewhere in the US, a little mistake was made at the mint. Now, 1986 pennies were supposed to have a mint mark to indicate where they were made, either D for Denver or P for Philadelphia. But a batch of pennies left the factory with no mint mark at all. Now, mistakes like this might not seem like a big deal, but in the world of coin collectors, they're pure gold, or in this case, copper. Why? Because rarity equals value. The fewer there are, the more collectors are willing to pay. And this no mint mark penny? It's one of the rarest Lincoln pennies ever found. So, why the jaw-dropping price tag? Here's the deal, this penny isn't just rare, it's in perfect condition. The coin that sold for $1.1 million was graded MS69 by a professional grading service. That's nearly flawless. Imagine a penny that's been chilling for decades with not a single scratch or smudge, and here's a fun fact, the buyer who snagged this penny wasn't just looking for a shiny collectible. Coins like these are investments. Think of them like stocks, but way cooler because you can actually hold them in your hand. Alright, let's get to the good stuff. How can you tell if you've got this $1 million penny? First, grab any 1986 penny you have lying around. Flip it over and look for the mint mark under the date. If there's no tiny D or P, congratulations, you're in the game, but hold your horses. Before you start spending like a millionaire, remember this, condition matters. If your penny has been through a war zone of vending machines, it's probably not worth much. But if it's in pristine condition, you might just have something special. Now, let me tell you about the time I thought I struck gold, literally. A few years back, I found an old jar of coins in my grandparents' attic. My heart raced as I sifted through penny after penny. Could one of these be the jackpot? Spoiler alert, it wasn't. But I did find a 1943 steel penny worth a couple of bucks, so it wasn't a total loss. The point is, you never know what treasures you might have until you look. That jar of coins was just sitting there collecting dust, and for a moment, it gave me a little thrill of possibility. Let's get philosophical for a second. This penny is a reminder that even the most ordinary things can hold extraordinary value. It's a little piece of history, a tiny mistake that turned into $1 million masterpiece. And it's proof that paying attention to the small details can literally pay off. So, do you have a 1986 no mint mark penny hiding in your collection? If you do, you could be sitting on a fortune. But even if you don't, the thrill of the hunt is half the fun. Start digging through your change jars, checking under your couch cushions, and maybe even calling up grandma to see if she has any old coin jars lying around. And hey, if you enjoyed this video and want more tips on finding valuable coins, or just love hearing stories about people turning pennies into paydays, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. Hey, coin enthusiasts! Imagine this, you're digging through your spare change, maybe looking for laundry money or that rogue quarter that keeps rattling in your car. Suddenly, you come across a penny. Nothing special, right? Just a copper-colored Lincoln staring back at you. But what if I told you that one little penny could be worth $1.2 million? That's right. Today, we're talking about the 1980 no mint mark Lincoln penny, a coin so valuable it could literally change your life. So, grab your penny jars, and let's dive into this treasure hunt together. Now, let's get into the nitty-gritty. First off, what does no mint mark even mean? Well, most coins have a small letter stamped on them indicating where they were minted, like a D for Denver or an S for San Francisco. But if you've got a 1980 penny with no mint mark, it means it was made at the Philadelphia Mint. Philadelphia typically didn't add a mint mark to their pennies back then. So, what makes this penny so special? Here's where it gets juicy. Some of these pennies were minted with errors, super rare errors that collectors go bananas for. Think double dies, off-center strikes, or even planchets. That's the blank metal disc used to make coins, with unusual compositions. These errors, combined with the coin's condition, are what can make it worth $1.20 million. Let me tell you about the time I thought I hit the jackpot. I was at my grandma's house, helping her roll coins, the ultimate bonding experience. We're halfway through a mountain of pennies, and I spot this old, worn coin. My heart skips a beat. Could this be it? I yell, holding it up like I just discovered buried treasure. Turns out, it was a Canadian penny. Grandma laughed so hard she nearly dropped the whole jar. Moral of the story? You never know what you'll find, but it's always worth checking. Now, back to the star of the show. If you want to know if your 1980 penny is the golden ticket, here's what to look for. Check under the date on the coin. No letter? You're on the right track. The better the condition, the higher the value. If it looks like it just came out of a roll, you might be in luck. Look for anything unusual. A double image, uneven lettering, or a misaligned design could mean big bucks, and here's a tip: use a magnifying glass or one of those fancy jeweler's loupes. Trust me, your eyes will thank you. Alright, so you're probably wondering, why would anyone pay $1.2 million for a penny? Great question. The value of rare coins like this comes from their scarcity and demand among collectors. Think of it like baseball cards or vintage sneakers. When something's rare and there are only a few out there, people will pay a fortune to own it. For example, one pristine 1980 no-mint mark penny with a rare error was sold at auction for $1.2 million. That's more than some houses cost. Can you imagine handing someone a penny to pay for gum, and they go, "Hey, thanks for the $1 million tip"? Makes you want to apologize to every cashier you've ever handed change to, right? So, the next time you're cleaning out your couch cushions or counting the coins in your piggy bank, don't just toss those pennies aside. Take a closer look. You might be sitting on a fortune without even knowing it. And hey, if you found today's video helpful, give it a thumbs up and share it with your fellow treasure hunters. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications for more tips on spotting valuable coins. Who knows? The next video might just help you find another $1 million gem. Hey, coin lovers! Imagine going through a jar of pennies, looking for the usual suspects, maybe a 1943 copper penny or that elusive 1955 double die, but then, bam! You spot something. You check the date and mint mark, and guess what? It's a 1995 D Lincoln penny, one of the most sought-after coins today, worth a jaw-dropping $1.3 million. Yep, you heard that right, $1.3 million. And you're probably wondering, how on earth can a penny from 1995 be worth that much? Well, stick around, because I'm about to take you through the fascinating world of the 1995 D penny, and why it could be your golden ticket. Before we dive in, hit that subscribe button because you don't want to miss out on more mind-blowing coin stories, tips on what to look for in your spare change, and strategies for turning your collection into something worth way more than pocket change. So, let's get into it. The 1995 D Lincoln penny, at first glance, looks like just another run-of-the-mill penny, right? But what sets this one apart and makes it worth over $1 million is a mistake. Yep, a mistake. More specifically, it's a rare minting error that resulted in some 1995 pennies being worth a small fortune. Okay, quick story. I remember going through some change at my grandma's house, and I found a penny that I thought looked weird. It didn't look shiny like the new ones. Instead, it looked older, and I thought, maybe it's worth something? So I showed it to my grandma, and she said, "That's just a dirty penny, dear." I ended up tossing it back into the jar, convinced it wasn't worth anything. Turns out, that penny could have been worth thousands today. Moral of the story? You gotta check your pennies, because you never know when you might find something valuable. And now, back to the 1995 D penny. You're probably thinking, what makes this penny so special? Well, the answer lies in a minting error, which makes this penny pretty darn rare. What happened was, some of the 1995 D pennies were struck with a double die error. This means the die that was used to imprint the design on the penny was misaligned, resulting in a double image on parts of the coin, particularly Abraham Lincoln's face and the lettering. These double images make the coin look a little bit blurry, but in the world of coin collectors, it's like finding a treasure chest. Now, not every 1995 D penny is worth $1.3 million. That would be way too easy. But if you find one of these rare double-die varieties in good condition, you could be sitting on a serious payday. These coins are like hidden gems, tucked away in rolls, jars, and old collections, waiting for the right person to spot them. Some have sold for upwards of $1.3 million at auctions, while others might fetch a smaller, but still substantial amount. Let's talk about the value for a second. When a coin like this gets graded by a professional service, the condition is key. The better the condition, the higher the price. But even if you have one with a little wear and tear, it's still worth checking out. The condition is typically graded on a scale from 1 to 70, with 70 being mint, no pun intended. A coin with the double die error and a grade of 60 or above can still sell for hundreds of thousands of dollars. Now, that's some serious change. The rarity and the unique nature of this error is why collectors go wild for it. It's kind of like finding a rare Pokemon card or a vintage baseball card. It's all about that elusive grail item. And who doesn't love a good treasure hunt? Did you know that the 1995 D penny wasn't the only year to have this error? That's right, minting errors like this have happened with several years, but the 1995 D is by far one of the most famous and valuable. So, it's like having the LeBron James rookie card of pennies, and who doesn't want that? Now, I know what you're thinking, how do I know if I've got a 1995 D penny with this double die error? Well, there are a couple of things to look for. First, closely inspect the lettering and Lincoln's image on the coin. If the words Liberty or In God We Trust seem to have a double outline or blurry edges, that's a sign you might have the error. Next, check out Lincoln's face. If it looks a bit fuzzy or if there are extra details, you've probably got yourself a winner. And don't forget to look at the date and mint mark. The 1995 D is specifically what you're after. So, there you have it. The 1995 D Lincoln penny. Who knew this little guy could be worth so much? Whether you're a seasoned collector or just starting out, this coin is one to keep an eye out for. If you find one, make sure you get it professionally graded, because you might just be holding onto a coin worth a small fortune. If you enjoyed learning about the 1995 D Lincoln penny, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications, because we're just getting started. I've got so many more tips and stories about rare coins and hidden treasures coming your way. Who knows? Maybe the next coin you check out will be worth millions. Hey there, coin lovers. Have you ever found a penny on the ground and thought, hey, that could be worth something? Well, you might want to pay extra attention to the pennies you have in your pocket, because today we're diving into the world of a particular coin that could make you a pretty penny, literally. If you've got a 2006 D mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny sitting around, you could be holding on to something worth a jaw-dropping $1.4 million. Yep, you heard that right, this little copper coin could be worth more than a brand new car, and I'm here to tell you why. Now, I know what you're thinking, a penny? Really? But stick with me, and I'll show you how this humble little coin can pack a punch when it comes to value. So, if you're ready to start searching through those old pennies you have stashed away, or maybe even inspect that jar you've been ignoring for years, let's dive right in. Alright, let's start with the basics. The 2006 D mint Mark Lincoln penny, that's the one with the D stamped on it from the Denver Mint, isn't just any penny. Now, most people will tell you a penny is a penny, but you and I both know that's not always the case. So, what makes this one special? For starters, the 2006 D penny is part of the Lincoln Bicentennial series, which marked the 200th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. Now, while this sounds like a history lesson, it's actually a key reason why this particular penny has earned its place in the world of collectible coins. Here's the kicker: certain 2006 D pennies are rumored to have been produced with a rare error. It's not just your average, run-of-the-mill coin, it's one that's had a little mistake in its minting process, making it super rare and highly valuable. And when I say rare, I mean, if you find one of these pennies, you could potentially cash in for a whopping $1.4 million. Talk about a lucky find, but hold on, don't go rummaging through your piggy bank just yet. Not all 2006 D pennies are worth $1 million. The ones that have the special error are what collectors are after, and they're harder to come by than you'd think. So, if you're out there searching, make sure to pay attention to the details, because it's the little things that make all the difference in the world of rare coins. And now, here's where things get a bit funny. A couple of years ago, I was cleaning out my closet, we all do it, right, and I found this dusty old jar filled with pennies. You know the kind, the ones you've just thrown in there over the years, nickels, dimes, and lots of pennies. At first, I was like, oh, great, a bunch of worthless change. But something told me to take a closer look. I mean, how many times do you hear about people finding valuable coins in their old junk? Well, I decided to dig through the pile, and guess what? I found a 2060 penny, and my heart stopped for a second. Could it be? Was it one of those rare ones? Spoiler alert, it wasn't. I didn't strike it rich that day, but the point is, if you don't check, you'll never know. So, let me break it down a little more. If you're really looking to cash in on a 2060 Lincoln penny, here's what you need to know. The valuable ones have this particular flaw in the minting process, which makes them stand out from the rest. Usually, it's something like a doubling of the mint mark, a funny scratch in the design, or some other weird, minor imperfection. These errors make the coin rarer than a unicorn in a field of horses. Collectors will pay big bucks for these, and that's how the coin ends up being worth $1.4 million. Pretty wild, right? So, here's the bottom line. While it might seem like a crazy idea that a penny could be worth so much, it's a real thing. A rare 2060 Lincoln penny with a minting error could potentially be worth $1.4 million. I know, it's a lot to take in. But hey, it's worth keeping an eye out for those tiny imperfections and examining the pennies you already have. You never know, the next one you find might be worth a fortune. Now, I bet you're feeling inspired to dive into your own coin collection or maybe go on a little treasure hunt for pennies. If you're looking for more tips, tricks, and strategies on how to spot coins that are worth some serious cash, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Trust me, you won't want to miss out on more tips about coins that could change your financial future. Whether it's a hidden gem in your pocket or your grandma's old change jar, there's money to be made if you know what to look for. Hey there, coin collectors and treasure hunters. Have you ever looked at a penny and thought, is this little thing worth a fortune? Well, brace yourself, because today we're diving into a coin that might just be worth more than you ever imagined, the 1992 D-Mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny. Yep, you heard that right, this tiny copper circle could fetch you a whopping $1.50 million. Before you go checking your pockets for loose change, let's break down why this seemingly ordinary penny is anything but that. And trust me, by the end of this video, you'll be squinting at your change like you're auditioning for Antiques Roadshow. So sit back, relax, and let's get into it, alright? So let's kick things off with a little history lesson, but don't worry, I'm not about to make you take notes. Let's talk about the 1992 D Lincoln penny. First off, you might be wondering, why is a penny from 1992 worth so much? Great question. It's all about a little thing called mint errors. Now, most pennies from this year are worth a measly 1 cent, but there's a rare batch that slipped through the cracks and turned into a $1 million masterpiece. You see, the 1992 D penny in question has a little hoopsie that makes it unique. There was a small issue with the minting process where a handful of pennies got struck with an off-center die. This means the design on the coin is misaligned, which is what gives it that rare and valuable edge, literally and figuratively. And now, you might be thinking, so what? There are a lot of mint errors out there. But hold your horses, because the 1992 D penny with this error is so rare that only a handful have ever been discovered. And when they pop up, well, let's just say collectors go absolutely bananas. It's not just any off-center penny either. To make it worth a small fortune, the error has to be clear and noticeable. The more off-center it is, the more valuable it becomes. We're talking about pennies where you can barely see Lincoln's face because the die wasn't aligned properly. That's like going to a baseball game and the pitcher accidentally throws a fastball so fast that you have no idea where the ball even went. A little chaos makes it a collectible. And now, I know what you're thinking, how can I find one of these rare gems? And here's where things get interesting. Finding a 1992 D penny with this kind of error isn't exactly like finding a needle in a haystack, but it's close. Most of these error pennies are already locked up in private collections, but don't let that stop you from checking your loose change. Seriously, who knows? The next penny you find in your couch cushions might just be worth a small fortune. Quick side note here, I actually have a story about this. A few years ago, I was at a yard sale. Yes, I'm one of those people who loves hunting for treasures at yard sales, and I found this old coin jar. It was filled with pennies, nickels, and even a couple of dimes that looked like they hadn't been touched in decades. I was about to walk away when something caught my eye, a 1992 D penny, just sitting there among the others, looking like any other penny. And now, I didn't think it was worth much at the time, but on a whim, I decided to check the mint mark and see if it had any errors. After a few seconds of squinting and Googling, I found out that this penny was a contender for something valuable. I didn't end up getting rich off it, sadly, but it was a great reminder that coins are more than just pocket change. Sometimes, they're like little time capsules holding unexpected surprises. Alright, to wrap it all up, if you've got a 1992 D mint mark penny with an offset or die error, you're holding a coin that could be worth as much as $1.5 million. Sounds crazy, right? But it's true. And if you happen to find one, you could be in for a life-changing payday. Just remember, it's all about paying attention to those tiny details, and now, here comes the fun part. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the world of valuable pennies, and trust me, there's so much more where that came from, hit that subscribe button. I've got plenty more tips on rare coins, strategies for spotting treasure in your change jar, and all kinds of fun stories from the world of coin collecting. So, don't miss out. Smash that bell notification so you never miss a penny, or should I say, $1 of valuable content. Thanks for hanging out with me today, and I'll see you in the next video. Until then, keep hunting for those hidden treasures. Who knows, maybe you'll be the next millionaire to tell the story of their 1992 D penny. Hey there, coin enthusiasts. Let me ask you a quick question. Do you ever get the feeling that some coins might be worth more than the loose change in your pocket? Well, today, we're diving deep into one coin that may just have you checking your pockets for treasure, the 1988 no mint mark Lincoln penny. $1.6 million for a penny? Yeah, you heard that right. And no, this isn't a typo or some crazy dream I had after too many cups of coffee. This is real, and trust me, by the end of this video, you'll be looking at your spare change in a whole new way. So stick around, and let's see if that old penny in your wallet could be the next big thing. Ready? Let's get into it. Okay, let's start with a bit of backstory. We all know pennies, right? I mean, we've been tossing them into our jars, or maybe even tossing them away when we're in a hurry. But every now and then, something special pops up, and suddenly that humble little penny isn't so humble anymore. Enter the 1988 no mint mark Lincoln penny. At first glance, it might seem like just another coin from the late 80s, but there's a twist. This penny doesn't have a mint mark, and that's the golden ticket. You see, most coins minted in the US after 1930 have a mint mark telling you where they were made: Denver, D, Philadelphia, P, San Francisco, S, or sometimes even West Point, W, but the 1988 penny? Nope. No mint mark. This little anomaly makes it super rare. The thing is, pennies from 1988 were mostly minted in Philadelphia, but somewhere along the way, a few slipped through the cracks without that all-important mint mark. And that, my friends, is where the magic happens. And now, you might be thinking, okay, that's cool, but why is it worth $1.6 million? Good question. It's all about rarity and demand. Imagine you're at a garage sale, and there's a pile of old books. 99% of them are about gardening, no offense to gardeners, but one book is about space exploration and signed by Neil Armstrong. Which one are you grabbing? You'd probably grab the space book, right? Well, that's exactly what collectors are doing with these 1988 no mint mark pennies. They're grabbing them because they're rare and because they have something special that other coins don't. In the world of coin collecting, the 1988 no mint mark Lincoln penny is like finding that Neil Armstrong book at a garage sale. Not many were made, and not many people even knew they existed until a few coin experts discovered their rarity. So, when one of these pennies shows up on the market, collectors go wild. It's like winning the coin lottery. Let's talk specifics. One of these bad boys, if it's in perfect condition, can fetch upwards of $1.6 million. That's not a typo, either. It's the real deal. And I know what you're thinking, is this penny really worth that much? Well, let's break it down. A flawless 1988 no mint mark penny might be graded at a high level, like MS67 or MS68, which stands for mint state. The higher the grade, the more valuable it is. These pennies are often sold through auctions or high-end dealers, and when one goes up for sale, it attracts huge attention from collectors and investors alike. But here's the kicker: finding one of these pennies in perfect condition is as rare as finding a needle in a haystack. Most of the pennies from this year are circulating, worn down, or damaged. So, finding one that's mint condition? Yeah, that's a pretty big deal, and you know what? I had a similar experience myself. A while back, I was going through some old coins my grandfather gave me. Honestly, I didn't think much of them, mostly just a bunch of old pennies, nickels, and dimes. I had tossed them in a jar on my bookshelf and left them there for months, thinking they were probably worth just a few cents. One day, I decided to take a closer look, probably because I was bored and had nothing better to do. I came across a penny that looked a little different. It wasn't shiny, but it didn't look like the other worn-down coins either. It was a 1955 double-die penny, which, as some of you may know, is worth a small fortune. I couldn't believe it. It wasn't quite $1.6 million, but I sold it for a solid few $1,000. And that's when I realized checking your coins could lead to big rewards. So, let's wrap this up. The 1988 No Mint Mark Lincoln penny is more than just a coin, it's a collector's dream, a piece of U.S. history, and possibly the ticket to an unexpected fortune. If you're digging through your change right now, don't just toss that penny aside, take a closer look. If you find one of these elusive 1988 No Mint Mark coins in pristine condition, you could be holding a treasure worth $1.60 million. Now, I know that sounds crazy, but in the world of coin collecting, it's all about rarity and condition. And as with any treasure hunt, sometimes it's the most unexpected places that hold the biggest rewards. So, next time you're at a garage sale, or digging through that drawer of old coins, remember, you might just be looking at your next big payday. But hey, before you go running off to check your pockets, make sure you subscribe to the channel for more tips and tricks on coins worth money. We've got tons of content coming up to help you find those hidden gems. Hit the like button, share this video with your friends, and let me know in the comments if you've ever found a coin worth a small fortune. Hey, what's up, coin lovers? Welcome back to the channel. If you're like me, you probably have a bunch of loose change sitting around in your drawers or your couch cushions. Well, let me ask you this, have you ever wondered if that random penny you found in your pocket could be worth a small fortune? I know it sounds crazy, but stick with me because today, we're talking about a penny from 1994 that's worth a whopping $1.70 million. Yeah, you heard that right, $1.7 million. And no, it's not some shiny, golden, magical coin. It's just a regular old 1994 Lincoln penny, but there's a twist. Stick around to find out why this little coin is making people go crazy, and how you might just have one stashed away in your collection right now. Alright, let's get into it. So, you're probably thinking, a penny? Worth $1.7 million? Nah, that's gotta be some kind of joke. And I get it. I was skeptical at first too. A penny is just a penny, right? Well, not exactly. When it comes to rare coins, especially ones with a story behind them, the value can skyrocket. The 1994 No Mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny is one of those coins. But hold up, before you start running to your coin jar to check every 1994 penny you've ever come across, let's break down why this coin is so valuable. First things first, the No Mint Mark part. Every coin that's made at one of the U.S. Mint's facilities has a mint mark, like D4 Denver or S4 San Francisco. But in 1994, there was a weird, mysterious occurrence. Some pennies were produced without a mint mark. You know, like that one friend who shows up to the party without a name tag, different, but still part of the group. Now, you might be thinking, okay, so it's a weird coin, but why is it worth so much? Well, here's the deal, mint errors like this are super rare. It's not like they made hundreds or thousands of these mintless pennies, they were a mistake. And as with anything rare, collectors lose their minds for them. The market for these rare coins has been on fire, and this 1994 No Mint Mark penny has become a goldmine for collectors and investors. The value is shot up to an estimated $1.7 million, which is absolutely insane for a penny, right? But let me tell you, finding one of these is harder than finding a needle in a haystack. When I first started collecting coins, I used to think I could find rare treasures just by scanning my pocket change. Spoiler alert, that's not how it works. I remember my buddy telling me about a rare 1955 double-die penny he found in his change, and I thought I had the same luck when I found a 1982 penny. I nearly went into a celebratory dance, thinking I was about to retire off that bad boy. Turns out, it was just a regular penny, nothing special. Total letdown, but, for those of you out there still checking your pennies, I don't want to rain on your parade too much. There's still hope. Because you never know, you could have one of these rare 1994 No Mint Mark pennies lurking in your collection. So, if you happen to find one, don't just toss it in a jar and forget about it. It could be your ticket to big bucks. Now, if you're wondering how to tell if you've got a 1994 no mint mark penny, it's pretty simple. The coin should have no mint mark on the reverse side, right next to the E pluribus unum engraving. The absence of this little D or S makes the coin special and valuable. I gotta share a quick story with you guys. So, about a year ago, I was going through a box of old coins I had shoved in my closet. I had a ton of pennies, most of them from the 80s and 90s, and I was convinced I'd found gold, or at least a rare gem. I got my magnifying glass out, ready to inspect every coin. And let me tell you, after what felt like hours of looking at pennies like a detective, I found one that seemed like it could be a winner. I thought I had found the holy grail, a mint error penny. Could it be the 1994 no mint mark? I grabbed my phone and started Googling like crazy, looking for photos of the 1994 no mint mark penny to compare. After what felt like an eternity, I realized that my rare penny was actually just a regular 1994 penny that had been a little worn out from all the years in circulation. The no mint mark I thought I saw was just a smudge on the coin. Talk about a letdown. But hey, that's the world of coin collecting, full of highs, lows, and a lot of magnifying glasses. So, don't get discouraged if you don't find $1 million penny right away. Keep hunting, because there's always a chance your next find could be worth something big. So, there you have it, folks. The 1994 no mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny is worth a staggering $1.7 million due to its rarity and minting error. If you have one of these lying around, well, you might want to get it checked out. And if you don't, hey, that's okay. There are tons of other valuable coins out there waiting to be discovered. Before you run off to dig through your coin jar, I've got one last thing to say. If you found this video helpful, or even just entertaining, hit that subscribe button and give us a thumbs up. We're diving deep into the world of rare and valuable coins, and I've got tons more tips and tricks to help you find those treasures that could be worth a small fortune. Alright folks, here's a fun thought for you. Imagine digging through your change jar and pulling out a coin that's worth more than your car. Now that's a jackpot. Well, that's exactly what can happen if you stumble upon a 1985 D mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny. This little copper nugget is currently valued at a whopping $1.8 million. Yes, you heard me right, million. That's more than most people make in a decade, just sitting in your pocket. But why is this penny so valuable? And how can you get your hands on one? Well, buckle up, because we're about to dive deep into this $1.8 million question. Now, I know what you're thinking. How in the world is a penny worth that much? Well, let's talk about that, and I promise you by the end of this video, you'll be scouring your coin collection for that shiny treasure. So stick around. First off, let's break down what makes this 1985 D penny so special. It's not just your run-of-the-mill change you find at the bottom of your laundry basket, or tossed into the tip jar at your favorite coffee shop. Nope, this penny's value has a whole lot to do with its rarity, condition, and the quirks of coin collecting. So, we've got a 1985 penny, right? And the mint mark? D, that's the Denver mint mark. But here's the thing, not every 1985 D penny is worth a fortune. A regular penny from this year might only be worth, a penny. But if you've got one in mint condition, and it's rare in the right way, that's where the magic happens. Coin collectors get really excited over the errors in coins, those little things that went wrong in the minting process. In the case of the 1985 D penny, the error that creates all the buzz is typically something related to misstrikes or the quality of the die. For example, some of these pennies might have an unusual amount of wear, or even odd designs, making them much rarer than your average 1985 penny. It's like when you accidentally draw something on your notebook and it turns out to look like a Picasso. You didn't mean for it to happen, but now it's a masterpiece. Now, you're probably wondering, how did the value of this penny reach a jaw-dropping $1.8 million? Well, there's a whole lot of history and a little bit of luck involved. This particular penny became famous because of its rarity. Coin collectors are always on the lookout for limited production coins or ones with mistakes. There's something about owning a coin that's unique, that's different from all the others, that really gets people excited. It's like finding a rare Pokemon you just wanted in your collection. One of the reasons this penny is so valuable is that there aren't that many out there in perfect condition. It's kind of like trying to find a needle in a haystack, but with a big shiny needle and a whole lot of cash at the end of the hunt. Plus, the 1985 penny has become one of the holy grails for collectors. So when one pops up at auction or gets sold by a private collector, the price can skyrocket. It's like the mint condition label on anything, it just makes it a whole lot more desirable. Alright, so now you're probably itching to check your wallet and change jar. But hold up, not every 1985 penny is going to make you rich. To find one that's worth big bucks, you need to look for certain things. The first thing is the condition of the penny. Is it shiny and crisp, or has it seen better days? If it's got a lot of scratches or discoloration, the value drops. You want one that's nearly perfect, like it was just minted yesterday, even though it's almost 40 years old. Next, look for those rare error coins. Sometimes, the minting process goes awry, and you get a coin with a flaw that makes it more valuable. Maybe it's a double die error, where the design is stamped twice, or a misaligned die that creates a weird image. Those errors are like gold in the coin world. Okay, real talk for a second. Let me share a little story with you. A few years ago, I was cleaning out my grandma's attic, where all the weird and wonderful stuff lives, and I found a jar of old coins. It wasn't much, mostly pennies, some dimes, maybe a nickel or two, and a whole bunch of dust. But something caught my eye. I found a 1964 penny that looked just a little different. It didn't have the shine of a normal penny, it had this cool, worn down vibe to it. So, I did what any curious person would do, I googled it. Long story short, it wasn't worth millions, don't get excited for me, but it did turn out to be a rare error coin with some cool features. Not a fortune, but a fun find. Moral of the story, always check your coins, because you never know what hidden treasure you might be sitting on. But hey, if you find that 1985 penny worth millions, I'm definitely coming over to help you celebrate. So, to wrap it all up, the 1985 mint mark penny isn't just your average, everyday coin. It's a rarity, a treasure, and it could be the key to unlocking a major payday if you happen to find the right one. If you've got one in mint condition, and maybe a little error here and there, you could be holding on to an item worth $1.8 million. But remember, it's not just about finding the rare coins, it's about knowing what to look for and understanding what makes them special. If you're into collecting coins, or just want to learn more about coins worth money, make sure you hit that subscribe button, because I've got tons more tips and stories about hidden gems in the world of coins. Who knows? You might be sitting on a fortune and not even know it. So, don't miss out on any future coin tips. Subscribe now, and let's keep hunting for those treasures together. Who knows, the next one could be worth even more. Catch you in the next video. Hey there, coin enthusiasts and treasure hunters. Today, I've got a jaw-dropping story for you about a coin that could turn your pocket change into a life-changing jackpot. Imagine digging through your couch cushions or an old piggy bank and stumbling upon a humble penny, only to find out it's worth a whopping $1.1 million. Sounds like a dream, right? Well, it's not. We're talking about the 1990 no-mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny. Yes, that little copper piece with Honest Abe on the front. What makes it so valuable? How can you tell if you have one? And what's the deal with no-mint marks anyway? Stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll know everything you need to start your search and maybe even fund your dream vacation. Or, pay off your student loans first. Let's break down what we mean by no mint mark. Normally, pennies minted in Philadelphia have a little P on them. But not in 1990. That year, some pennies left the mint without any mark at all. These weren't just factory oopsies, they were part of a rare production error. Errors like this send collectors into a frenzy, and when collectors go wild, prices skyrocket. So why is the 1990 no-mint mark penny worth $1.1 million? A few reasons. First, scarcity. There are only a handful of these pennies in existence. Second, condition. To reach that $1 million mark, your penny needs to be in pristine, mint condition. That means no scratches, no stains, and definitely no bite marks from when you were a kid pretending to be a pirate. Now, let me tell you a little story. A few years ago, I was cleaning out my garage, mostly looking for an excuse to avoid mowing the lawn. I stumbled upon an old jar of pennies my grandma had given me when I was a kid. As I poured them out, I thought, wouldn't it be cool if one of these was valuable? Of course, back then, I didn't know what to look for. Spoiler alert, I didn't find $1 million penny, but I did find a 1943 steel penny worth a few $100. Not bad for something collecting dust in my garage. The point is, these valuable coins are out there. They're hiding in junk drawers, change jars, and even the bottom of your car's cup holder. You just have to know what to look for. Alright, let's get into some pro tips. If you're hunting for a 1990 no mint mark penny, grab a magnifying glass or use your phone's zoom function. Check the front of the penny just below the date. If there's no mint mark and the penny looks brand new, you might be onto something. But before you start planning your millionaire lifestyle, get it verified by a professional coin grader. They'll give you a grade from 1 to 70, and you'll need a grade close to 70 to hit that 7-figure value. Now, let's talk humor. Can you imagine walking into a coin dealer with a handful of pennies and saying, "I think this one's worth $1 million"? The look on their face would be priceless. But hey, it's happened before. Regular people just like you and me have cashed in on coins they never thought twice about. If you don't have a 1990 no mint mark penny, don't worry. The coin world is full of hidden gems. From the 1943 copper penny to the 1955 double die, there's always something exciting to discover. Think of it like a treasure hunt, but without the risk of getting sunburned or bitten by snakes. So, what's the takeaway here? Check your pennies. That jar of change you've been ignoring might just hold a life-changing treasure. The 1990 no mint mark penny is proof that even the smallest, most ordinary things can turn out to be extraordinary. Before you go diving into your coin collection, I've got a quick favor to ask. If you found this video helpful or even just a little entertaining, hit that subscribe button and ring the bell for notifications. I post videos like this all the time, helping you uncover the secrets of valuable coins, treasure hunting strategies, and tips for turning pocket change into a windfall. And hey, drop a comment below if you've ever found a rare coin or if you're about to start searching. I'd love to hear your stories. Remember, the best treasure might be hiding right under your nose. Hi everyone. Imagine this, you're casually digging through your spare change, maybe looking for a quarter for the vending machine or coffee at your local cafe. Suddenly, you spot an ordinary penny, or is it? What if I told you that one of those pennies, yes, the humble 1989 no mint mark Lincoln penny, could be worth a jaw-dropping $1.2 million? That's right, folks. Today, we're diving deep into this incredible story of the 1989 no mint mark penny, why it's worth so much, and how you might just strike it rich without even realizing it. So stick around, because this could be the most profitable 20 minutes of your life. First things first, what's the deal with this penny? At a glance, it looks like every other penny. It's copper-colored, has Abraham Lincoln's profile on the front, and on the back, the Lincoln Memorial. Pretty standard stuff, right? Wrong. The 1989 no mint mark penny is part of a rare batch that was minted without the telltale letter indicating where it was made. Normally, pennies would have a little P, D, or S for Philadelphia, Denver, or San Francisco. But for reasons lost to time, or maybe just a sleepy mint worker, some 1989 pennies were struck without that mint mark. Here's the kicker, these coins were made with an incredibly high level of detail. The die used to stamp these pennies was brand new, meaning the design is sharper, and the strike is more precise. Coin collectors go wild for this kind of thing. Now, let's talk money. Why is this coin worth more than a house in most cities? It comes down to three things: rarity, condition, and collector demand. Only a handful of these rare pennies exist, and finding one in pristine condition is like finding a needle in a haystack. Collectors prize coins that look like they just rolled out of the mint. If your penny has no scratches, dents, or signs of circulation, it could be worth a fortune. The coin collecting world is like a secret society, and rare pennies are their holy grail. When a coin like this hits the market, collectors practically throw money at it. One such coin sold for $1.2 million at auction, setting a record. That's a lot of Starbucks trips, people. Alright, now that I've got your attention, you're probably itching to go through your piggy bank. But wait. Here's how you can tell if you've got the golden or copper ticket. Flip through your pennies and check for the year 1989. That's step 1. No mint mark? Bingo! You might be in luck. Is it shiny and new looking, or has it seen better days? Remember, condition is everything. Now, let me tell you about a friend of mine, we'll call him Mike. Mike loves thrift stores, flea markets, and garage sales. One day, he bought an old mason jar full of coins at a yard sale for $5. Turns out, he found a rare penny from the 1980s. It wasn't the 1989 no mint mark, but it was worth $300. That's a 6,000% return on investment, people. So, the moral of the story? Don't underestimate loose change. Isn't it wild that we ignore pennies most of the time? They sit in car cup holders, couch cushions, and gum-covered parking lots. Yet, here we are talking about one that could literally change your life. If Abraham Lincoln knew his penny was worth $1.2 million, he'd probably be speechless, or maybe he'd finally crack a smile. So there you have it, the 1989 no mint mark penny. A tiny, unassuming piece of copper that could be worth more than your car, your student loans, and your dream vacation combined. Before you toss that penny jar or ignore the change the cashier hands you, take a closer look. Who knows? You might be holding history and $1 million in your hand. If you enjoyed today's deep dive into coin treasures, make sure to subscribe to the channel for more tips on finding hidden gems in your pocket change. Hit the like button, share this video with your friends, and drop a comment below if you think you've got a valuable coin story. Remember, every penny counts, literally. Alright, folks, here's a question for you. What if that penny rattling around in your couch cushions is worth more than your car? Yep, you heard that right. Today, we're talking about a penny, just a humble 1988 no mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny that's worth a jaw-dropping $1.3 million. Yeah, a penny. Now, before you run off to grab your change jar, stick with me because I'm breaking down why this little copper coin is so valuable, how to spot one, and whether you could be sitting on a small fortune. Plus, I'll share a little story about my own penny hunt that might just make you laugh or cry, depending on how it ended. So grab your magnifying glasses and maybe some gloves, let's get into it. Okay, here's the deal, most coins have a mint mark. That's the little letter on the coin, usually a P for Philadelphia, D for Denver, or S for San Francisco, that tells you where the coin was made. But this 1988 penny? No mint mark at all. That makes it super rare, and collectors go absolutely nuts for rare stuff. Now, this wasn't some design choice. Nope, it was likely a production mistake. Somebody at the US Mint either forgot to stamp the dies with the mint mark or just had a really bad day. Either way, the result was this elusive no mint mark penny, which now has collectors pulling out their wallets faster than you can say e pluribus unum. Let's get practical here. If you're staring at your pile of pennies, here's what to look for. 1988. No cheating. Flip that penny over. If you see a letter under the date, sorry, it's not the jackpot. Coins in great condition, like ones that look fresh out of the bank, are worth way more. If it looks like it's been through a lawnmower, well, that's a harder sell, and pro tip, a magnifying glass helps. Because squinting at tiny numbers for hours isn't a good look for anyone, trust me. Here's the kicker, it's not just rarity that makes this penny valuable. It's demand. There's a small but dedicated group of collectors who are willing to shell out big bucks, like $1.3 million, for coins like this. Why? It's like the ultimate bragging rights. Oh, your car cost $80,000? Cute. I have a penny worth 16 times that. Plus, these collectors know that over time, the value of rare coins can go up. It's kinda like investing in stocks, but shinier. And now, let me tell you about the time I thought I struck gold, well, copper. A few months ago, I was cleaning out an old drawer. You know the one. Full of receipts, expired coupons, and random loose change. I spotted a penny and thought, wait, what if this is one of those pennies? Cue 30 minutes of frantic Googling, squinting at the date, and comparing it to photos online. I was so sure I'd hit the jackpot. My heart was racing. And then I realized it had a mint mark. A big fat D. Yep, I went from millionaire to regular person in about 0.2 seconds. Moral of the story, always double check, but don't quit your day. Job.so, there you have it. The 1988 no mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny, a tiny little coin that could make you a millionaire. Could you have one sitting in a jar somewhere? Absolutely. That's why it's worth taking a closer look at your change. Who knows? You might just find the treasure of a lifetime. And hey, if you enjoyed this deep dive into rare coins, make sure to hit that subscribe button. I'm here to help you uncover hidden gems in your pocket change and share tips on spotting valuable coins. Let's turn those pennies into big bucks together. Thanks for watching, and happy hunting! Who knows? The next time you reach into your pocket, you might just pull out $1.3 million. Stay curious, stay excited, and I'll see you in the next video. Ladies and gentlemen, coin enthusiasts, and accidental treasure hunters, welcome back to the channel where we turn your spare change into cha-ching. Today, we're diving into a coin that might just make you look twice at that jar of pennies on your dresser, the 2006 no mint mark Lincoln penny. This unassuming little piece of copper is worth, wait for it, $1.4 million in today's market. Yep, you heard me right, millions for a penny. Imagine finding one of these bad boys stuck under your couch cushions. Suddenly, cleaning the house doesn't sound so bad, does it? So, what's the deal with this penny? Why is it so valuable, and how can you spot one? Stick around, because by the end of this video, you might be running to your piggy bank with a magnifying glass. Alright, let's talk about what makes the 2006 no mint mark Lincoln penny such a big deal. First off, what does no mint mark even mean? A mint mark is a small letter stamped on a coin to show where it was made, like D4 Denver or S4 San Francisco. If there's no mint mark, it usually means the coin was minted in Philadelphia. Nothing unusual there. But here's the twist: the 2006 penny in question has no mint mark and a super rare production error that makes it worth its weight in gold, literally. And now, before we get into the nitty-gritty, let me tell you a quick story. A couple of years ago, I was helping my grandmother clean out her attic. You know the drill: dusty boxes, old photo albums, the occasional questionable odor. Anyway, I found this jar full of pennies, and my inner treasure hunter kicked in. I spent hours sorting through those coins, hoping to strike it rich. Did I find the 2006 no mint mark penny? Nope. But I did find a 1943 steel penny, which was pretty cool. Moral of the story? Always check your loose change, you never know what's hiding in plain sight. Back to the 2006 penny. This coin's value comes down to a rare die error. For those new to coin lingo, a die is the metal stamp used to press the design onto a coin. If the die has a flaw, like a crack or misalignment, it can create a unique error on the coin, making it a collector's dream. The 2006 penny we're talking about has a double die error, meaning some of the features, like Abraham Lincoln's profile or the Liberty inscription, look doubled or blurry. This error is super rare, and collectors are willing to shell out big bucks for it. But wait, how do you know if you have this magical penny? Grab a magnifying glass and check the details. Look at Lincoln's face and the lettering. If anything looks slightly off, you might have a winner. But here's a tip: don't squint at your pennies too long, or you'll start seeing double everywhere, and then every penny will look like it's worth a fortune. Let's talk money, because that's why we're all here, right? In pristine condition, the 2006 no mint mark Lincoln penny with the double die error has fetched up to $1.4 million at auction. Even coins in less than perfect shape can go for tens of thousands. Imagine paying off your car or putting a down payment on a house with a penny. It's the ultimate rags to riches story. So, what's the takeaway here? Never underestimate the power of a humble penny. That spare change rattling around in your pocket could be your golden ticket. The next time you're sorting through your coins, take a closer look. Who knows? You might just strike it rich with a 2006 no mint mark penny. And hey, if you found today's video helpful or at least mildly entertaining, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. This channel is your one-stop shop for all things coins: how to spot the valuable ones, how to sell them, and maybe even a few tips on starting your own collection. Let's uncover these hidden treasures together. What if I told you that a single penny could be worth more than a Lamborghini? Sounds crazy, right? But the 1970 D mint mark Lincoln penny isn't your everyday coin. This unassuming little copper piece can fetch up to $1.5 million. Yep, $1.5 million. That's a life-changing amount of money hiding in your couch cushions or that jar of coins collecting dust in your closet. Hey there, coin enthusiasts and treasure hunters. Welcome back to the channel where we turn your pocket change into payday. Today, we're diving deep into the story of the 1970 D penny. I'm breaking down what makes it so special, how to spot one, and why someone would pay a fortune for it. Oh, and stick around, I'll share a personal story about how I almost tossed a valuable coin without realizing it. Okay, here's the deal. Not every 1970 penny is worth millions. In fact, the vast majority are worth, well, just a penny. But a few rare errors and unique features make some of these coins insanely valuable. The 1970 penny is famous for a double die obverse. This means the coin was struck twice by the die, causing the text and details to appear doubled. It's like the coin got a little tipsy and couldn't sit still during production. Look closely at the date 1970 or the words "In God We Trust." If they look slightly blurry or doubled, you might be holding a goldmine. But wait, there's more. A few of these pennies were also struck on the wrong planchet, a blank meant for a different coin. Imagine trying to bake cookies but accidentally using a pie tin. The result? A super rare penny collectors will pay big bucks to own now. Before you go rooting through your spare change, let's talk about what to look for. It's on the front of the coin, just below the date. The D stands for Denver, where the coin was minted. Use a magnifying glass or the zoom on your phone. The doubling is usually most noticeable on the date or the lettering around the coin's edge. Coins in pristine condition, what collectors call mint state, are the ones fetching top dollar. If your coin looks like it's been through a blender, it's probably not worth millions. A quick tip: if you find one that looks promising, don't clean it. Cleaning a coin can actually lower its value. Trust me, collectors prefer their rare coins with all the dirt and character intact. Great question. The answer lies in the world of coin collecting, where rarity and history are king. Imagine owning a piece of history that few people in the world have. It's like having the Mona Lisa of pennies. Wealthy collectors are willing to pay astronomical sums for these coins because they're unique, historically significant, and a bragging right now. I know what you're thinking, $1.5 million for a penny? Who are these people? Honestly, I picture them sipping coffee in a mansion made of pennies. Okay, story time. A few years ago, I was clearing out some old junk and found a box of coins. Among them was a penny that looked odd. I didn't think much of it and almost threw it in the meh pile. But something about it caught my eye. It had this strange doubling on the date. Curious, I did some Googling and realized it could be valuable. Long story short, I took it to a local coin shop, and while it wasn't the $1.5 million penny, it was worth $200. Not bad for something I almost tossed, right? That experience taught me to always check my change. You never know what you might have. So, what's the moral of the story? Always check your coins. The 1970 penny is proof that even the smallest treasures can hold immense value. With a little knowledge and some patience, you could stumble upon a fortune hiding in plain sight. Before you head off to raid your piggy banks, remember this: collecting coins isn't just about the money, it's about uncovering history, sharing stories, and maybe even getting a little lucky. If you found this video helpful, entertaining, or just a good excuse to procrastinate, hit that subscribe button and join our coin-loving community. I've got more tips, tricks, and stories coming your way, so you don't want to miss out. And hey, let me know in the comments, what's the coolest coin you've ever found? We're diving into the incredible story of the 1991 no-mint mark Lincoln penny, a coin so valuable that it could literally change your life overnight. Hi, I'm Jake, your go-to guide for uncovering hidden treasures in your coin collection or the junk drawer we all have. Stick with me because not only am I going to give you the scoop on why this penny is worth a fortune, but I'll also share a personal story about how I almost overlooked a valuable coin myself. Spoiler alert, it involves a pizza night gone terribly right. What is the 1991 no-mint mark Lincoln penny? Alright, let's start with the basics. The 1991 Lincoln penny looks like any other penny, made of copper-plated zinc, with good ol' Honest Abe on the front and the Lincoln Memorial on the back. But here's the kicker: this particular penny doesn't have a mint mark, meaning it was produced in Philadelphia. Now, I know what you're thinking, so what? Lots of pennies don't have mint marks. True, but the value lies in its rarity. You see, this penny wasn't just any run-of-the-mill coin, it's a high-grade, rare error coin. And here's where it gets exciting. Most 1991 pennies are, well, just pennies. But this one is special because of its nearly flawless condition and the way it was struck. Experts call this a perfect specimen, and it's been graded as such by professional coin grading services. Let me break it down for you in relatable terms. Imagine if the penny was a pizza. A regular penny is like that one pizza slice you accidentally drop on the floor. Sure, it's still pizza, but it's not perfect. Now, the 1991 no mint mark penny? That's the perfect slice extra cheese, perfectly cut, no grease stain in sight. That's why collectors go wild for it. It's all about condition, folks. If your 1991 penny has scratches, discoloration, or signs of wear, it's probably not going to make you a millionaire. But if you've got one that's shiny, sharp, and free of imperfections, congratulations, you might be sitting on a goldmine now. Let me tell you a quick story. A few years back, I was cleaning out my junk drawer, yes, the one that somehow collects rubber bands, mystery keys, and that weird pen that never works. Anyway, I came across a handful of old coins. I almost tossed them in a tip jar, but something told me to take a closer look. Turns out, one of them was a 1982 penny with a rare minting error. It wasn't worth $1.6 million, but it sold for a few $100. I used the money to treat myself to a fancy dinner, and I've been hooked on coin collecting ever since. Moral of the story? Always check your change. How to spot a valuable 1991 no mint mark penny. Now that I've got you hyped, here's how to check if you've hit the jackpot. Look for 1991. If it's a different year, it's not the one we're after. Make sure there's no little D or S under the date. Is it shiny? Does it look brand new? You'll want to get it graded by a professional. Look up recent sales of 1991 pennies to compare. The $1.6 million auction sale. Here's the cherry on top. Back in, mention year, one of these pennies sold at auction for an incredible $1.6 million. That's enough to buy a mansion, travel the world, or, let's be real, never eat store brand cereal again. So, there you have it, the 1991 no mint mark Lincoln penny. It's proof that big things really can come in small packages. Who knows? The next time you're counting your spare change, you might just discover your ticket to a brand new life. If you loved this video, don't forget to smash the like button and subscribe to my channel for more tips on coins worth serious money. I'm here to help you uncover the treasures hiding in plain sight, and hey, while you're at it, drop a comment below and let me know if you've ever found a rare coin or if you're about to go digging through your couch cushions after this video. Hey there, coin enthusiasts, treasure hunters, and everyone in between. Imagine this, you're rummaging through some old jars of pennies, just looking for enough change to buy that overpriced coffee, and boom, you stumble across a coin worth $1.7 million. Yeah, you heard me right, $1.7 million. And nope, it's not gold-plated or diamond-encrusted, it's just a humble 1967 no mint mark Lincoln penny. So, why is this little penny worth more than a luxury car or even some houses? Stick around, because today we're diving into the fascinating, hilarious, and slightly unbelievable story of how this seemingly ordinary coin became one of the most sought-after treasures in the coin collecting world. Plus, I'll share a story about the time I almost threw away a valuable coin, yikes, and why you might want to double-check your change before tossing it in the tip jar. Alright, let's get into it. First off, what's the deal with the 1967 no mint mark Lincoln penny? Why is it so special? In 1967, the US Mint was in a bit of a pickle. They were phasing out mint marks for a few years to discourage coin hoarding. Back then, people were obsessed with collecting coins, especially ones with rare mint marks. So, in an attempt to keep things smooth and boring, the mint decided, hey, let's just remove mint marks altogether for a while. Brilliant plan, right? Except it backfired. Instead of making coins less collectible, they accidentally created a few unintentional rarities like our star of the show today. And now, most 1967 pennies are pretty run-of-the-mill. They're made of 95% copper and 5% zinc, weigh about 3.11 grams, and feature good ol' Honest Abe on the front and the Lincoln Memorial on the back. Nothing fancy. But every once in a while, you'll find one with a striking error. Maybe it's off-center, double-dyed, or has a smooth edge where there should be ridges. These tiny oopsies can send collectors into a frenzy and skyrocket the coin's value. And then there's the Holy Grail, a pristine, uncirculated 1967 penny with no mint mark and a significant error or rarity. One of these gems sold for a jaw-dropping $1.7 million at auction. That's like winning the lottery, except instead of numbers, you're betting on a coin you probably ignored at the bottom of your couch cushions for years. But why is it worth so much? Well, it comes down to a combination of factors. The fewer scratches, dents, or signs of wear, the better. Think of it like grading diamonds, perfection pays. Not every 1967 penny is valuable. It's the rare errors in mint state coins that make collectors swoon. Collectors are always hunting for unique coins to complete their collections. And let's be honest, some of them have deep pockets and really want to win those bidding wars. And now, here's where things get funny. A few years ago, I found a weird penny in my car's cup holder. It was all shiny and had this funky edge, so I thought, hey, this might be worth something. I got all excited, did some research, and even took it to a local coin dealer. Turns out, it was a total dud. Just a regular penny that had been run over by a shopping cart a few too many times. But here's the moral of the story: you never know until you check. That's why I always say, every penny is worth a second look. So, how can you tell if you've hit the jackpot with your 1967 penny? Here are a few tips. Check for any unusual features like double-dyed lettering, off-center strikes, or a missing edge design. Coins in mint or near mint condition are your best bet. If your penny looks like it's been through a rock tumbler, it's probably not worth much. If you think you've got something special, send your coin to a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. They'll examine it, grade it, and give you an official certification. Use online resources, auction sites, or coin forums to see what similar pennies are selling for, and if you don't find a $1.7 million penny, don't feel bad. Even some moderately rare pennies can sell for hundreds or thousands of dollars. That's still way better than 1 cent, right? So, there you have it, the incredible story of the 1967 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny worth $1.7 million. Who would have thought that something so small and seemingly insignificant could hold such immense value? It's a reminder that sometimes, the things we overlook are actually treasures waiting to be discovered. If you enjoyed this video and want more tips on how to spot valuable coins, learn the history behind them, or just hear some fun stories about coin collecting, hit that subscribe button and join our community. Don't forget to like this video, share it with your friends, and let me know in the comments if you've ever found a rare coin in your pocket change. And remember, the next time you see a penny on the ground, don't just walk past it. Pick it up, it could be your ticket to $1.7 million. Hey there, treasure hunters. What if I told you that lurking in your pocket change could be a penny worth $1.80 million? Yep, you heard that right, a single, humble Lincoln penny minted in 1987 with a little D mark below the date might just be the golden ticket to your dream life. Forget lottery tickets, your next $1 million find could be jangling around in your old junk drawer. And now, before you go dumping your coin jar onto the floor, which, by the way, totally relatable, I've been there, stick around because today we're diving deep into what makes this 1987 D Lincoln penny so special. I'll share how to spot one, why it's worth so much, and, of course, a personal story about my own coin hunting adventures. Trust me, this is a tale you don't want to miss. Alright, let's set the stage. The 1987 D penny is part of the Lincoln Memorial Series, which ran from 1959 to 2008. Most of these coins? Pocket change. But a select few, like our $1 million superstar, were struck with errors that make them incredibly rare and valuable to collectors today. So, what exactly makes this penny worth $1.8 million? It's not just any ordinary coin, it's likely one of the rare error coins. Coin experts suspect these may have been struck on a bronze planchet instead of the standard zinc-coated copper planchet used in 1987. This mishap created a small number of coins with unique characteristics that collectors go absolutely bonkers for. Okay, here's what you're looking for: look for that little D under the date. That means it was minted in Denver. If you have a kitchen scale handy, weigh the penny. A standard 1987 penny weighs about 2.5 grams. But if yours tips the scale closer to 3.1 grams, you might be holding one of those rare bronze planchets. And now, let me tell you a story. I once spent an entire weekend combing through every coin in my house. I turned my couch cushions inside out, rated my car's cup holder, and even checked the bottom of my washing machine. Pro tip: laundry quarters aren't as exciting as you think. While I didn't find the elusive 1987 D penny, I did discover a 1969 S penny worth a few bucks. Not quite life-changing, but hey, it bought me a coffee. Moral of the story? The thrill of the hunt is half the fun. Collectors are willing to shell out big bucks for coins like this because of their rarity and history. It's like owning a piece of American art that fits in your pocket. Plus, the story of a penny that beat the odds to become a millionaire maker is irresistible. So, you've done the work, and you think you've got a 1987 D bronze penny. Now what? First, don't spend it on a vending machine snack, seriously, don't. Instead, take it to a coin grading service like PCGS or NGC. They'll verify its authenticity and assign it a grade, which can increase its value. Then, start networking with collectors or auction houses. Heritage auctions and stacks bowers are great places to showcase your find, and let me just say, if you end up selling that penny for $1.8 million, you'd better come back here and share the story in the comments. I'm already jealous of future you. Alright, folks, here's the deal. The 1987 D Lincoln penny is proof that big things really can come in small packages. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just someone curious about what's in their spare change, this coin shows us that treasures can be found in the most unexpected places. So, here's your challenge: grab a magnifying glass, check your coin jar, and start hunting for that $1 million penny. You never know, your next trip to the grocery store might turn into the discovery of a lifetime. If you enjoyed this video and want more tips on finding valuable coins or just love the idea of turning pennies into paychecks, hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell. I've got plenty more stories, tips, and coin hunting strategies coming your way. And hey, before you go, tell me in the comments, what's the coolest coin you've ever found? Let's swap stories. It's a lot more fun than hoarding change in secret. 1 inch. Hey, what's up, coin lovers? So, you're telling me that a penny, something we usually just throw in the bottom of our pockets, could be worth over $1 million? Sounds like a joke, right? Well, buckle up, because today, we're talking about the 1996 D Lincoln penny and how this tiny coin could make you a lot richer than you ever imagined. Stick around, this story's got more twists than a bag of pretzels. Yep, you heard me right, this little copper coin, the one that's been gathering dust at the bottom of your spare change jar, could be worth up to $1.1 million. But, how? Why? And, where did it all go wrong for my poor piggy bank? Let's find out. Alright, first things first. If you're new to the world of coin collecting, or, let's be real, if you just stumbled upon this video looking for something to watch while eating lunch, you might be thinking, a penny is a penny, right? Well, yeah, but also, no. Not all pennies are created equal. Some have history, some have mistakes, and some are just old. The 1996 D Lincoln penny was minted in Denver, and it looks pretty much like every other penny out there. Lincoln's there on the front, staring off into the distance, looking all presidential and such. On the back, you've got the familiar 1 cent. So far, so normal. But here's where it gets spicy. The 1996 D penny we're talking about here is one of the rare ones. While most of these pennies were made just like any other, some of them have a unique defect. That defect? A double die error on the obverse, the side with Lincoln's face. Now, you're probably wondering, what on earth is a double die error? It sounds like something you'd get at the doctor's office, right? Like, "Doc, I've got this double die situation going on." But it's actually a minting error where the coin is struck more than once in the same place. Essentially, you get a double image of Abraham Lincoln's face. And who doesn't love a good double, especially when it means extra cash? Imagine making a sandwich and accidentally putting 2 pieces of bread in the same spot. Messy, right? But in the world of coins, messy equals valuable. This rare mistake makes the coin far more sought after by collectors, and that's where the magic happens. So, how do you know if your 1996 D penny is one of these $1 million beauties? Well, it's not as easy as just picking one up off the ground and thinking it's going to pay for your new car. You need to look closely. No, I mean really closely. Get out your magnifying glass, your loupe, or your smartphone camera, whatever works for you. You're looking for a noticeable doubling in the words "Liberty," "In God We Trust," or even Lincoln's cheekbones. It's subtle, but once you know what you're looking for, it's like finding treasure in your couch cushions. Now, let's talk dollars and cents. Why is this penny worth $1.1 million? It all comes down to rarity and demand. Coins with errors are incredibly rare, especially ones that are this noticeable. Collectors are obsessed with finding these errors, and they're willing to pay top dollar for one that's in great condition. Imagine finding this penny in your laundry, and you're just thinking, it's just a penny, I'll toss it in my jar. Next thing you know, you're wiping away a tear as you realize that's the moment you could have made a fortune. Who's crying now? Not the person with $1 million penny. So, if you're one of the lucky few to find this valuable 1996 D penny, how do you cash in? You can sell it through online auction sites, or even take it to a reputable coin dealer. The key is to get the coin graded by a professional. The higher the grade, the higher the value. A coin in perfect condition could get you top dollar, but a worn down version, well, it's still worth something, just not $1.1 million. And please, for the love of all things shiny, don't just say, I think this penny is worth $1 million because it's shiny. Get it graded by a professional before you start bragging to your friends about your impending yacht purchase. So, there you have it, the 1996 D Lincoln penny with a double die error could be worth up to $1.1 million. Who knew that tiny piece of copper could change your life, right? I mean, just last week I found a penny in my car, and I knew it wasn't worth a fortune, but hey, it was a nice find. Remember, folks, coin hunting isn't just about searching for silver or gold, it's about finding the rare and unexpected. So, get out there, start sifting through those pennies, and maybe you'll be the next one to find a jackpot. Now, if you love this deep dive into the world of valuable pennies, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I've got more tips and tricks on how to find coins worth money, strategies for building your collection, and a lot of laughs along the way. Hey there, coin lovers and future millionaires. Have you ever looked at a penny and thought, nah, that's just pocket change? Well, brace yourselves, because today I'm about to drop some serious coin knowledge on you, specifically about a little penny that's not so little when it comes to value. I'm talking about the 1994 no mint mark Lincoln penny. This coin might just change the way you look at your spare change forever. Imagine having a penny that could be worth a whopping $1.2 million. Yes, you heard me right. This isn't a joke. We're diving into why this tiny piece of copper is causing some serious buzz in the numismatic world. So, stick around, and let's see if you've got a gold mine hiding in your piggy bank. Alright, let's start with the basics. The 1994 no mint mark Lincoln penny sounds pretty straightforward, right? It's a regular old penny minted in 1994, with one major twist: there's no mint mark on the coin. Now, if you know anything about US coins, you'll know that most pennies minted since 1931 usually come with a mint mark to show where they were made, D4 Denver, S4 San Francisco, and so on. But this particular penny, minted in Philadelphia, doesn't have that mint mark. So, what's the big deal? Well, it turns out that missing mint mark wasn't just a random accident, oh no. This is where the plot thickens. In 1994, there was a small number of these no mint mark pennies that were accidentally struck, and they slipped through the cracks. Because they were so rare, and because collectors went bananas for anything out of the ordinary, this little coin became a big deal. And now, let me be clear, most of us, me included, probably have a bunch of 1994 pennies sitting around in our change jar, collecting dust. But here's the kicker: the value of the 1994 no mint mark penny is all about rarity and condition. If you've got one of these rare pennies, and it's in mint condition, you could be holding on to something worth upwards of $1.2 million. That's no typo. $1,200,000 for a coin that you probably thought was, well, just a penny at first. Check for the obvious: no mint mark. That's step one. But that's not the whole story. To really cash in, you need a coin that's in pristine condition. This means no scratches, no wear and tear, no discoloration. If the penny's been rolling around in your pocket for 30 years and looks like it's been through a war, well, it's probably not worth $1 million anymore. Here's a quick story from my own experience. I remember once going through my change jar, hoping to find a rare coin. After sifting through a mountain of pennies, I came across a 1994 penny, no mint mark. I thought, hey, this could be it. But then I checked it out under a magnifying glass, and it was scratched up, dirty, and basically looked like it had been used as a frisbee. So, I tossed it back in the jar. No big deal, right? Wrong. The lesson here is that condition matters. Now, I'm sure you're wondering, okay, but how can I actually sell this penny for a fortune? Well, there are a couple of routes you can take. First, get it graded by a professional. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70, with 70 being the best condition possible. The higher the grade, the more valuable the coin. A coin in perfect condition might fetch the high-end price, but a well-worn penny? Not so much. Once you've got your penny graded, you can either sell it through online auction platforms like eBay, or, for even higher security, you can reach out to specialized numismatic dealers who deal in rare coins. Be sure to do your research, though. There are some shady characters out there, and you don't want your precious penny slipping through the cracks. So, why do people go so crazy for these no mint mark pennies? Well, it's all about how rare they are. They weren't meant to exist. These little anomalies spark collectors' imaginations because it's just so exciting to find something unexpected, especially when that something could make you a fortune. It's like finding a rare Pokemon in the wild or stumbling upon an ancient treasure map. There's an excitement that comes with rarity, and let's face it, who doesn't want to feel like they're part of an exclusive club of coin collectors? It's like a secret society where the members are all hoarding their lucky pennies, and the stakes are high. I mean, who would have thought a tiny copper coin would lead to such big rewards, right? Alright, so let's wrap this up with a little recap. The 1994 no-mint mark Lincoln penny is a rare coin that could be worth a jaw-dropping $1.2 million if it's in pristine condition. These pennies didn't mean to exist, but they slipped through the minting process, and now collectors are willing to pay big bucks to add one to their collection. But here's the deal, it's not just about finding the penny. It's about checking the condition, getting it graded, and then selling it through trusted platforms. Do your homework, and you could be sitting on a gold mine, or should I say, a copper mine. If this video got you excited about checking your coin jar, hit that like button, it helps more than you think. And if you want to learn about more hidden treasures like the 1994 no-mint mark penny, don't forget to subscribe and ring that bell so you never miss a coin tip that could make you a millionaire. And hey, if you do find one of these pennies, remember who told you about it. Maybe you can buy me a coffee with that $1.2 million. Just saying. Until next time, keep hunting for those rare coins, and happy collecting. Look, hey, coin lovers. So, picture this, you're going through a box of old pennies, and you come across a 2000 Lincoln penny. You think, just another penny. But what if I told you that one little penny could be worth a whopping $1.3 million? Yeah, you heard me right. $1.30 million. It sounds crazy, but trust me, this is one of those coins that's hiding in plain sight. If you've got a 2000 no-mint mark Lincoln penny lying around, you might just be holding onto a small fortune. But before you start running to your coin jar like a madman, let me break it down for you. Grab your favorite snack, sit back, and let's dive into the world of rare pennies. Alright, let's start with the basics. What's so special about a 2000 no-mint mark penny, and why in the world is it worth $1 million? First things first, most coins have a mint mark. You know, that little letter on the coin that tells you where it was made. Usually, it's a letter like D for Denver or S for San Francisco. But this particular penny, the 2000 no-mint mark Lincoln penny, doesn't have one. It's like the mystery guest at a party. No one knows exactly why it doesn't have a mint mark, but the fact that it doesn't is exactly why it's so valuable. You might be thinking, okay, a mint mark, who cares, right? Well, here's the thing. Back in 2000, a whole bunch of pennies were made in Philadelphia, and most of them were stamped with the usual P mint mark. But some of these pennies slipped through the cracks without any mint mark at all. And that's where the magic happens. These mintless pennies are rare, and rare coins, well, they tend to be worth a lot more than your average penny. Now, let me tell you a little story. A few years ago, I found myself knee-deep in coin collecting. I was casually sifting through some old pennies I had lying around. I wasn't expecting anything big. After all, it's just pennies, right? But then boom, I found a 2000 Lincoln penny with no mint mark. I thought, well, it's probably nothing, and tossed it into my pile. Fast forward a few months, and I started reading up more on rare coins, and I realized what I had. A 2000 no mint mark penny could be worth thousands, even millions. I mean, I literally almost fell out of my chair. Can you imagine tossing a $1.3 million coin into a junk pile just because I didn't know what I had? Now, let's talk about why it's worth so much. It's all about rarity, condition, and demand. These pennies, being so rare, are like a diamond in a sea of pebbles. Not every 2000 no mint mark penny is worth $1 million, though. The coin's condition plays a huge role in how much it's worth. A penny that's shiny and looks like it just came off the press is worth way more than one that's scratched up and beat to death. If you've got one in near perfect condition, that could mean big bucks, and there's more. Coin collectors are always on the lookout for anomalies, and this 2000 no mint mark penny is just the kind of oddball collectors drool over. In fact, there are stories of some lucky collectors selling these pennies for $1.3 million or even more. That's not bad for a coin that, just a few years ago, could have been found in the change jar at your local convenience store. So, how do you check if you've got a valuable one? It's simple: look for that missing mint mark. If you find one, take a good look at the condition. Is it shiny and well preserved? Or does it look like it's been through a few too many washer cycles? A penny that's in great shape will definitely fetch a higher price. You can even get it graded by a professional to see exactly how valuable it is. Here's a fun little trick for you: if you ever find yourself holding a 2000 penny with no mint mark, try not to get too excited just yet. Check it carefully, because some counterfeits have made their way into the market. If you're unsure, you might want to get it professionally appraised. You don't want to find out years later that your $1 million penny is, in fact, a fake. Now, I know what you're thinking: is there any way to tell if I've got a genuine one or not without going to a coin expert? Well, the short answer is no. But if you're willing to put in the effort, there are some online resources where you can learn how to tell the difference. You can even join a coin collector community online where people share tips, tricks, and their own finds. You might just come across someone who's made a fortune off one of these pennies. Hey, you could be the next success story. So, here's the takeaway from today's treasure hunt: if you've got a 2000 no mint mark Lincoln penny, you might be sitting on a small fortune. The key is rarity, condition, and how much someone is willing to pay for it. Keep an eye out for that missing mint mark, and who knows, you could be the next lucky person to cash in on $1 million coin. Before you run off and check your spare change, I've got one last thing for you. If you want more tips, tricks, and insider knowledge on finding rare coins worth big money, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Trust me, you won't want to miss out on the next big coin discovery. Hold up. What if I told you that this humble penny right here could be worth a staggering $1.4 million? Sounds crazy, right? I know, because a penny usually means, well, pocket change. But trust me, this coin is far from ordinary. It's like the underdog of the coin world, the one that surprises everyone when it walks into the room. Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're talking about the 2021 mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny. Yup, that penny you might find in your change jar or stuck to the bottom of your couch cushions, except this one is not your average coin. Stick around, because you're about to find out why this penny could have you living the high life if you're lucky enough to find one. Ready for the deep dive into why this penny is worth more than my entire wardrobe combined? Let's get into it. So, first things first, why in the world is a 2021 mint mark penny worth $1.4 million? Like, seriously, who decided this was going to be a big deal? Well, let me tell you, it's not just a matter of, hey, let's give this penny a fancy price tag for fun. You see, pennies are generally worth 1 cent. Shocking, I know. But some pennies can skyrocket in value because of unique characteristics, errors, or certain rarities. This penny, the 2021 mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny, gained its value because of something special, something extra that made it stand out from the rest. But before we get into the why, let's break down the basics. Alright, 2021 was just a few years ago, right? So what gives? Usually, coins from recent years aren't the ones making headlines. But this one? It got its value boost thanks to an incredibly rare minting error. Let's call it the perfect storm of mistakes. While most pennies are stamped with pretty standard features, some of these 2021 pennies were made with a minor, but extremely noticeable flaw. You might not notice it at first glance, but trust me, coin collectors have eagle eyes. Imagine this: a tiny, microscopic flaw on the Lincoln side, just enough to make it different from the rest. It's like that one friend who shows up to a party with a mismatched sock, but somehow owns it and becomes the life of the event. That flaw? It's what's making this penny the talk of the town among collectors. Now, not every 2021 mint mark penny will get you $1.4 million. We're talking about the rare ones here, the ones with that specific error. And this penny's value shot up thanks to its rarity, condition, and, honestly, just the fact that it was meant to be rare. Like a limited edition sneaker drop but in coin form. Collectors are obsessed with this stuff. It's like the coin version of I've Got a Secret. So, if you find a 2021 D penny, you might want to inspect it more closely. Don't just toss it into your jar of whatever pennies. Who knows? You could be holding the key to a small fortune. You can check for the errors by examining the link inside closely. Sometimes they'll show up in the hair details or around the outer edge of the coin. The error isn't huge, but to a collector, it might as well be a gold mine. But here's the thing, just because you found a 2021 D penny doesn't mean you're automatically swimming in cash. Like, I wish that were the case. I was hoping to find $1 million penny in my change at Starbucks the other day, no luck there. But when you're looking for one of these valuable 2021 pennies, you need to be on your A game. Look for the minting error, and make sure it's in good condition. Even minor scratches can drop the price of your coin dramatically. Speaking of finding valuable coins, I have a funny story. A couple of months ago, I was sorting through my old change jar. Yes, I'm that person. And I swear, I thought I found a rare coin. I got all excited, did the whole I'm about to be rich dance, and then realized it was just an old penny from the 1980s. I almost cried. But that feeling? That hopeful rush, it's something I know all coin collectors live for. It's part of the fun. And, hey, sometimes that penny might just be worth more than you think. So, to wrap things up, if you've got a 2021 D mint mark penny lying around, check it twice. That little coin could be worth far more than its face value, thanks to a rare error. But remember, not every penny is going to make you a millionaire, only the special ones. And honestly, finding a penny like this is about more than just cashing in. It's about the thrill of the hunt, the excitement of the discovery, and the joy of knowing there's always more out there. Maybe next time, you'll find the gold mine. If you want to keep learning about coins that are worth way more than their face value, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss out on the next big find. I've got more tips, tricks, and stories coming your way, and trust me, you won't want to miss them. And if you find that $1.4 million penny, well, I want to hear all about it in the comments. Hey everyone! Welcome back to the channel. Now, if you're like most people, you probably think a penny's just a penny, right? It's the smallest coin, it's practically useless, and we always forget to pick them up when they roll under the couch. Well, what if I told you there's a penny out there that could make you a millionaire? I'm talking about the 1991 no mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny, and yes, you heard that right, it's worth around $1.5 million. Now I know what you're thinking, no way. A penny worth that much? That's crazy talk. But stick with me because I'm about to tell you exactly why this little coin could change your life. Grab your magnifying glass and let's dive in. Alright, let's rewind a bit. The year is 1991, and we're in the midst of the 90s, lots of neon, dial-up internet, and no smartphones to distract us, thankfully, or maybe not. The US Mint was busy cranking out pennies, as they always do, but here's where it gets interesting. A small group of 1991 pennies was released without a mint mark. Now, a mint mark is that tiny letter you see on coins, usually located right under the year, indicating where the coin was made. Most pennies have a mint mark like D4 Denver or S4 San Francisco. But these particular 1991 pennies, well, they were made without any mint mark at all. So why is that important? Here's the thing, those mintless pennies were supposed to have the D mark from the Denver Mint. Somehow, someway, they got out into the world without it, and that makes them pretty rare. And as you know, rare equals valuable. And now, I know what you're probably thinking, but I've got a 1991 penny. Is it worth $1 million? Unfortunately, no. Not all 1991 pennies without a mint mark are worth that much, but if you've got one in good condition, like really good condition, it could fetch a pretty penny, pun intended. We're talking about a coin that could go for upwards of $1.5 million at auction, but here's the catch, finding one isn't as easy as just digging through your change jar. First off, they're rare, so you need to be lucky to even come across one. And secondly, it needs to be in great shape. We're talking mint condition, which means no scratches, dings, or signs of wear and tear. The cleaner and shinier, the better. If you find one in perfect condition, you could be looking at some serious cash. Now, I know you're thinking, what are the odds? I'm never going to find one of those. Well, let me share a quick story with you about a time when I thought I'd never stumble upon something valuable either. A few years ago, I was going through an old box of coins I inherited from my granddad. I was mostly just looking for those old silver dimes that we always hear are worth money, but then I found a 1943 steel penny. Now, if you know anything about pennies, you know the 1943 steel pennies can be worth quite a bit. I thought, this is it, I'm rich. But after a closer look, I realized it had some serious wear on it. It wasn't worth nearly as much as I hoped. But hey, the thrill of finding that old penny made me realize just how fun coin hunting can be, so don't give up hope. You never know when you might stumble upon one of these golden opportunities, like the 1991 no mint mark penny. It's all about persistence and keeping an eye out for those rare finds that can turn a casual coin collection into a serious money-making venture. So, if you've got a 1991 penny, do yourself a favor, take a closer look. If it's got no mint mark and it's in perfect condition, well, congratulations. You might just be holding on to something worth more than your entire coin collection combined. And hey, if you don't have one, don't worry, there are plenty of other valuable coins out there to hunt for. Before you go diving into your coin jar, make sure to hit that subscribe button. I've got tons of tips on how to find coins worth money, how to spot rare ones, and the best strategies to build a valuable collection. Trust me, you'll want to stick around for all the insider info that could make you the next coin millionaire. Thanks for hanging out with me today, and good luck on your coin hunt. Stay curious, stay persistent, and most importantly, keep having fun with your collection. Catch you in the next one. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell for more tips and stories about coins worth money. You never know, the next big find might just be a click away. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. If you're into coins and love finding hidden treasures, you're going to want to stick around for this one. Today, we're talking about a coin that has the potential to change your life. Okay, maybe not your life, but it could certainly make you a tidy profit. Imagine you're walking down the street, just casually enjoying your day when you spot a coin, nothing too fancy, until you realize it's a 1971 mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny. Yeah, you heard that right. You could be holding something worth around $1.6 million. Crazy, right? Now, before you start checking your coin jars, let me tell you, this story has a twist. So, sit back, relax, and let's dive into what makes the 1971 Lincoln penny so valuable and how you can spot one if you're lucky enough. Alright, let's start with the basics. The 1971 mint mark Lincoln penny was produced at the San Francisco Mint. It's part of the famous Lincoln series, which has been a staple of U.S. currency since 1909. But here's the kicker, while most 1971 pennies are worth just a few cents, some rare versions of the 1971 penny can fetch up to $1.6 million. That's a lot of coin for, well, a coin. But why? What makes this penny stand out? Not every 1971 penny is going to be worth a fortune, and it's important to know what sets the valuable ones apart. The key to its worth is a variety of factors: condition, rarity, and specific mint errors. While the vast majority of these pennies are fairly common, a select few have certain characteristics that make them highly sought after by collectors. You see, coin collecting is kind of like the dating scene. Not every coin gets noticed, but if you've got a mint error or a special characteristic, you're going to stand out in the crowd. The 1971 penny you're looking for has a couple of distinct features that make it special. The most important one is the mint mark, which shows that it was struck at the San Francisco Mint. Now, if you're not familiar with mint marks, don't sweat it, here's a quick crash course. Mint marks are tiny letters placed on coins to tell you where they were made. You'll usually find these little marks on the reverse side of the coin. In this case, the S stands for San Francisco. But just because it says S doesn't mean it's a $1 million penny, there's more to it. Coin collectors are picky, like, real picky. They care about every little scratch, ding, and fingerprint. A penny in mint condition, meaning it's nearly flawless and in pristine shape, can really push the price up. So, if you find one in great condition, you're talking about a coin that's not only valuable but also a rarity. The better the condition, the higher the price. And if you ever find one of these pennies with no wear and tear, you may want to seriously consider getting it appraised because it could mean big bucks. The 1971 penny's value skyrocketed because of its unique mintage error. In a small number of these coins, the mint made a mistake while striking them. For example, some of the 1971's pennies were struck with a more noticeable double die error. This means that you might see a little extra blurriness or doubling of the details, like on Abraham Lincoln's head or on the words around the coin. This doubling is caused when the die used to strike the coin was misaligned, and it can make the coin more appealing to collectors who want to complete their collections of rare errors. So, if you find a penny that looks a bit off, it's worth taking a second look, and don't forget, just because the coin could be worth $1.6 million doesn't mean it's always worth that much. If the coin isn't in good condition, it won't fetch the highest price. But hey, even a penny worth a few $100,000 can buy you a whole lot of ice cream, right? A couple of years ago, I was at a garage sale, the kind where you think you'll find some dusty old VHS tapes and random mugs. Well, I spotted a jar of coins on a table, and being the coin nerd that I am, I immediately dug through it. The lady running the sale must have thought I was some sort of coin wizard because I asked her if she had any rare pennies. She looked at me and said, "Well, I think there's some in there, but most of them are just old junk." I bought the whole jar for a few bucks, because who wouldn't, right? When I got home, I started sorting through the coins, and guess what I found? A 1971's penny. It wasn't in perfect condition, but it was definitely a mint mark coin. I got it appraised, and while it wasn't worth $1 million, it was still worth a pretty decent chunk of change. Moral of the story: never underestimate a coin jar at a garage sale. You never know what treasure might be hiding in plain sight. Well, first off, you'll want to look through your own collection of coins. If you have a jar of change that's been sitting around for years, give it a good check. While it might take some time and effort, you might get lucky. But if you're just starting out, keep an eye on coin dealers and online auctions. Look for dealers who specialize in rare coins, and be sure to do your research. And remember, don't pay too much for a coin that's not worth much. It's all about doing your homework, so now you know why the 1971's mint mark Lincoln penny is so valuable, and what makes it stand out in the world of rare coins. If you're ever out there, and you happen to stumble upon one of these beauties, just remember, it's not just a penny, it could be a ticket to a small fortune. If you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about coins worth big money, make sure to hit that subscribe button. I've got tons of tips, strategies, and fun facts to help you on your coin hunting journey. You never know, you might be sitting on a goldmine and not even realize it. Don't forget to like, comment, and share if you found this helpful, and I'll see you in the next video. Happy hunting! Hey there, coin enthusiasts! You won't believe what I found while cleaning out my pocket change the other day, a 1978 Lincoln penny. At first glance, I was like, meh, just another penny, but then, I did a double take. Turns out, that little coin could be worth a whole lot more than I thought. No joke, we're talking about a cool $1.70 million, yes, you heard that right. A 1978 no mint mark Lincoln penny can fetch a jaw-dropping $1.7 million in the right conditions. And if you're thinking, wait, that can't be true, then buckle up because today, we're diving deep into why this humble penny is worth a small fortune. I promise by the end of this video, you'll never look at pennies the same way again. Ready to discover some hidden treasure in your wallet? Let's go. Alright, let's break it down. The 1978 no mint mark Lincoln penny isn't exactly the type of coin you expect to see featured on a national treasure hunting show. But here's the kicker, it is that valuable, and I'll tell you why now. You might be wondering, what makes this penny worth millions? Isn't it just a regular penny with Abraham Lincoln on it, chilling on the front? Well, kind of, but not quite. First things first, mint marks. If you're a true coin collector, you know that mint marks are crucial. Mint marks are the little letters on the coin that tell you where it was made. If it's a no mint mark, that means it was made at the Philadelphia Mint. You're probably thinking, okay, so no mint mark, big deal. But here's where it gets interesting. In 1978, the US Mint made a little mistake, and not everyone caught it. Some pennies didn't have a mint mark on them, and that was highly unusual. Most coins that year were made in either the Denver or San Francisco mints, and they were marked accordingly. But the 1978 no mint mark penny is rare because it slipped through the cracks. And rare coins are like gold in the coin collecting world. In fact, this rare error penny has been spotted fetching an insane $1.7 million in auction.so. How do you know if you've got one of these elusive beauties hiding in your change jar? Let me share a little story. I was sifting through a pile of coins once, feeling like I'd struck out with nothing but dull, lifeless pennies. You know the type, the ones that have seen better days, like my old shoes that have a hole in the heel. But then, out of nowhere, I spotted a shiny 1978 penny. I flipped it over, and there it was, a no mint mark. For a split second, I thought, could this be it? The holy grail of pennies? I was all ready to jump on eBay and list it for millions. Okay, maybe a little too excited, but after checking the condition, I realized it wasn't quite the gem I thought it was. And that's another thing. Condition is everything when it comes to rare coins. If you're looking to cash in big on a 1978 no mint mark Lincoln penny, you'll want it to be in mint condition, pun intended. The higher the grade, the higher the value. A coin in perfect condition can be worth much more, while one that's worn down will fetch considerably less. So, don't go thinking your penny is worth a fortune just because it's old. You gotta get it graded, and trust me, it's totally worth it, but let's not get too caught up in the perfect condition thing. I know finding a penny in mint condition is like finding a needle in a haystack. But you never know. Maybe the coin you've been tossing around in your pocket for years is a hidden gem, and if you're thinking, okay, so it's rare, but how do I make sure I get the big bucks for it? Well, I've got a tip for you: get it graded by a professional coin grading service like PCGS or NGC. This is a crucial step if you want to get the top dollar for your coin. Trust me, you don't want to sell your $1.7 million penny for $20 just because you didn't know its true value. Although, if you did make that mistake, I'd happily take that penny off your hands for you. Just kidding, kind of. Once your coin is graded, it's time to find the right buyer. Auctions, coin dealers, and even online platforms like eBay are great places to sell. Just make sure you're doing your homework and finding someone who appreciates the rare treasure you've got, and hey, don't get discouraged if you don't have a 1978 no mint mark penny. I once thought I had a rare error coin, only to find out it was just a 1995 penny that had been chewed on by my dog. So, yeah, not worth anything except maybe a laugh. My dog, though? She's got a taste for numismatic history. Who knew? Alright, folks, now you know all about the 1978 no mint mark Lincoln penny, why it's worth a whopping $1.7 million, and how you can check if you have one lying around. Who knew that a coin that seems so ordinary could hold so much value, right? So, before you go and spend that loose change on your next cup of coffee, take a second to check if you've got any of these hidden treasures in your pocket. You never know, that small piece of copper might just change your life. If you liked this video and want to learn more about coins that could be worth a ton of money, make sure you subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out. I've got plenty more tips, tricks, and stories about rare coins coming your way, and remember, the next time you're digging through your wallet, keep your eyes peeled. You never know what treasures you might find. Hey there, coin enthusiasts. Today, I've got a penny secret that might just knock your socks off. Picture this: you're digging through your change jar, looking for a forgotten penny, and bam, you find a 1973 no mint mark Lincoln penny. You give it a quick glance, toss it aside, and carry on with your day. Little do you know, that very penny could be worth a whopping $1.80 million. Yes, you heard that right. In the world of rare coins, this little copper treasure might just be your ticket to an early retirement or a very fancy vacation. But how in the world does a penny go from being worth 1 cent to a cool million plus? Stick with me, and I'll tell you all about the 1973 no mint mark Lincoln penny, why it's so valuable, and how you might just find one of your own. So, a few years ago, I was doing a deep dive into rare coins, like you do on a Saturday night if you're a real coin nerd. I was flipping through my old change jar full of pennies, nickels, dimes, and some questionable looking foreign coins when I came across this dull, scratched up penny. It looked like it had been through a war, honestly. But I kept it, because who knows? It could be something special. Fast forward a few weeks, and I found out that penny was a 1943 copper penny. It was worth a few $1,000. Yeah, I was stoked, but guess what? The 1973 no mint mark penny has that same kind of potential. And I didn't even need to be flipping through decades-old pennies to find it. Just imagine, that random penny from your change jar might be the one that pays off. To answer that, we need to talk about mint marks and why they matter. Mint marks are the little letters, D, S, or none at all, that are stamped on coins to show where they were produced. Typically, coins from the Philadelphia Mint don't have a mint mark. However, in 1973, there was a glitch in the minting process. The U.S. Mint accidentally released a few pennies from Philadelphia without the usual P mint mark. It was supposed to be on every coin, but a batch of pennies somehow slipped through the cracks, and that tiny oversight created a major collector's item. Now, most people don't think much about the mint marks when they look at coins. They just see a penny, and they don't give it a second thought. But collectors? Oh boy, they see something entirely different. A mint error like this, one that only affects a certain year and is rare, is what gives these coins their sky-high value. If you happen to find one of these 1973 no mint mark pennies, it's a huge deal. And that little mistake could turn your penny into a serious asset worth up to $1.80 million. Let's talk specifics for a second. How do you know if you have a 1973 no mint mark penny that's worth this much? Well, first, check the date. Simple enough, right? You're looking for a penny from 1973 that has absolutely no mint mark. The coin will have Abraham Lincoln's face, just like any other penny, but instead of a mint mark under the date, it will be blank. No D for Denver, no S for San Francisco, just a clean, unmarked penny. And now, I can already hear you asking, but wait, how many of these pennies are there? Is this one in a million? Not quite. While they are rare, they're not impossibly rare. The 1973 no mint mark Lincoln penny was minted in pretty high numbers, but the condition matters big time when it comes to value. Coins in pristine, uncirculated condition fetch the highest prices. So, check the condition of your coin. If it's got scratches, nicks, or heavy wear, it's not going to get you $1.8 million. But, if it's in good shape or even close to mint condition, you've got yourself a potential goldmine. But here's the thing, just because it's a 1973 no mint mark penny doesn't automatically mean it's worth millions. There's a whole process for determining whether your coin is the real deal. You'll want to have it graded by a professional coin grader. They'll assess the condition, rarity, and authenticity of your coin and assign it a grade. A coin that's in excellent condition and graded well is going to command a higher price, and here's where the fun really begins. If you have a coin like this, you can sell it through auction houses, coin dealers, or even specialized coin markets. That's where collectors with deep pockets come into play. They're always on the hunt for rare, high-value coins, and they're willing to pay big for a 1973 no mint mark penny in great shape. So, to wrap it up, if you've got a 1973 penny with no mint mark, take a second look. It could be your ticket to serious cash. While most pennies you come across won't make you a millionaire, this one could be the exception. And who knows? That change jar you're tossing coins into could be hiding a fortune. Before you go, don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more tips on valuable coins and hidden treasures. We've got a ton of content coming your way, whether you're looking for rare pennies, nickels, dimes, or just some good old coin nerd entertainment. Hit that subscribe button and make sure to ring the bell so you never miss a valuable tip. And hey, if you find a 1973 no mint mark penny, let me know. I'd love to hear your story and maybe even share your coin discovery with our coin-loving community. Keep those eyes peeled, folks, because treasure could be hiding in your pocket right now. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time. Remember, coins are more than just change, they could be your next big payday. Stay tuned for more coin strategies and tips, and don't forget to subscribe. Happy hunting, coin collectors!